So in this video, we're going to look at callout detailing. So callout views are used for creating an enlarged view of a part of an existing view. So callouts can be added to a plan, a section, elevation, or a detail view. When you create a callout bubble with a callout tag, Revit creates a callout view. So you can either create a view callout or a detail callout or a reference callout. So again, this is probably used on our sheets where we just want to show a particular detail in a bit more particular structural detail in larger form so we can see it better. So we'll work through it here. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm just continuing on from our last video where we did the schedules, I think it was. So we're going to look at callouts. So we're going to open up our first floor plan. So go to our floor plan and we'll just double click on first floor. And again, I'll just close the first one. We don't need that. My computer is a little bit slow, so that'll help things. So with the first floor plan open up, we're going to go to the View tab along the top. So go along here and you'll see View. And then once you're in the View, you'll see there's a few different options here, but right underneath there, we actually have Callout. And a little drop-down menu underneath it, where you'll see a little black triangle. Just click on this, and there's a few different ones we can do. It's a rectangle or a sketch where we can customize a shape. But we'll just go for a standard rectangle view here. So you see, and then the command activates like this. So what we want to do is we want to draw a callout area around the column on grid B2. So again, this is B here, and this is our grid line 2. So what we want to do is a callout in this section here. So again, it's just using we have the callout rectangle option. So we'll just basically draw a rectangle around this column here. And we'll just position it somewhere here. So just click the rectangle and it'll pop out here. So then what you might notice then, it automatically creates a plan called first floor callout 1. So again, you'll see this over on the floor plan here. So this is once we put the callout here, first floor callout 1. But we'll just kind of give this a nicer name so we actually know exactly what we're going to be showing on it. So we're going to right click, click on rename, and we're going to call this one column plan detail. Just hit enter. And we should have something like this. So then what we can do next then is if we double click on this, it just brings in basically, it just cuts out all the other stuff, all the other information that was on the drawing. It just shows what was in that rectangular box with our two grid lines here. So, and again, you can change the grid lines like before. You can put the 2 up here, or you can put the B up here, or the 2 down this side. But if you can use that using the information we learned in the other videos. But for the moment, we can just leave it as it is. So that was simple enough. Basically, if you want to just get a nice detail, you can put them on. That's how you do a call out. So, but we'll bring it on a little bit more now, just onto the next bit. So if we go to, we'll go to our elevation. So yeah, we'll do a few different call outs. So we'll just focus on the columns here. Let's get a few different views of it. So what we're going to do next, we'll go to our elevations. We'll just do another call out. So we click on our elevations. We're going to click on south elevation. Should have a view looking like this. I know on this one here, if looks a little bit different to this, you might be missing just the shading. So you click down here at the bottom and you have wireframe, hidden, shading, consistent colors. Again, I like just click on shading because it kind of gives you a bit of a distinction in terms of materials without actually using the CPU power, which would be used for when you have the realistic option. So we'll just leave it at shaded. I also notice actually here that our topography isn't actually showing up. Again, we'll just type VG on the keyboard. So again, this is just to match what we have in the notes. VG on the keyboard brings up the visual visibility graphics. So we are going to bring up the details on the sites and the topography. So again, just to bring up the topography, if you don't see it here, you'll see there's all the structural options here, because earlier on in another video we just set this to show structural details. So if we just click on the architectural option here, it'll bring up the other details we're looking for, because we want to add in the site information and the topography. Click apply, click OK, and we'll see our site line here is coming up. So again, yours might look a little bit different depending on where you have your section cuts through this one, but at least now we roughly know where it is. So again, we'll do another call out. We'll do the same thing. So we're in the view tab. We'll click the call out. Again, we'll just select the rectangle one, and we will do one somewhere here, just over this column here. So yeah, so around the first floor, around column B. So here we have our grid line B, sorry, and this is the first floor. And then we can change this call out then to, click on the rename. So it came up south call out 1, so we'll change this to column section detail. Okay, so that looks good there, and we got our column plan detail here. That's good. Now one of the things we might have to change is you can't really see the column actually in this view. So we can see all this information here, but actually the actual column here is not visible at the moment. So we're going to have to actually play around then with our section cuts, because they're obviously blocking it for the moment. So what we can do is we're going to go back to so we go to our first floor plan. So we go back over here to our first floor plan, and you'll see here we have here we go. Here's our section view. So remember we did this one here. So this was our section. So basically when we cut through the building, through the elevation, this is where it's going to be cutting through. And we want to bring it up somewhere close to where the floor is, or sorry, where the column is going to be on this side. So just again, because at the moment it's only going to be cutting into this part of the view, but we want to bring it up here so we can see the details close to this grid line. So once you've clicked, we're going to zoom in here a little bit. So we have our little arrows here. What we can do, let's make sure, sorry, we clicked on the section, so I have to zoom in just to grab it. But these little blue arrows here, this is where we can actually move our section. So again, I'm just going to drag it up. We want to kind of bring it up so it's actually going to catch the column. So might take a bit of playing around to see if we get it right. So we'll just put it there for the moment. So just above grid line 2. So we'll check that now, see if that works. So we'll just check our column plan. Okay, so we can see here now the section view is, well, that was there already, that's okay. Go to our south view. No, still not there, could be behind this. Let's go back to our first floor plan again. Okay, what we might do is just to move the whole thing up a little bit. So we'll just we will grab our section line here, and we'll just bring the actual line somewhere here, and we'll just drag down the arrows to maybe this out here, just above grid line 2. Okay, we'll check the south elevation. Okay, still it's good visible there, that's fine. Again, so what we want to do is we want to be able to show a few details here, but because we have a shear wall here that's actually blocking what we need to see, in here we can actually turn off the wall graphics. So we type in VG on the keyboard, bring up our visibility graphics, I should say. We'll just scroll down here and we'll just untick walls. Again, this will only apply for this specific view, and we'll see our walls there. We'll just turn off in this view here. So now we can just see this information a little bit better, since the wall was blocking it last time. So now our column section detail should look something like this, and our column plan detail should look something like this. Again, I'll just add in shaded so it makes it a bit more consistent, realistic. And we'll just go back to the column section detail. So once we have our shear wall, our walls and visibility graphics turned off, we'll see it's clear. Again, it hasn't deleted it, it's just turned off then from this view. So we're going to add a little bit, just a bit more detail for the people working on site. So what we want to do here is we want to add some insulation to the underside of the slab. So here we have our slab, and we want to add some insulation, just what you'd see maybe in a normal drawing. So what we can do, we're going to go with the Annotate tab. Again, here we go, and we're going to find, there's an option here for adding insulation. So where are we going to go? Okay, we have Annotate. So in the Annotate tab, you'll see here at the detail bit, or the details section, there's an option for insulation. So we're going to do this. We're going to add 100 mil thick insulation and place it on the far side. So let's just click on the insulation option, and it brings up the options are here. So we want to set the width, in this case, to 100. Again, this will be whatever it's specified to be, but for this example, we'll just leave it here, and we're going to click on far side. So these are different options. If we click on the center, obviously it's going to be 100 mil, so it's going to divide it 50 mil above and below the center line. Then there's near side and far side, obviously self-explanatory. So we're going to click on the far side. And then what I want to do, again, it might take you a few goes to get this right, but we're going to draw a line going along here, and then another one going from here to here. And then the Revit will put the insulation on the far side, and it'll be 100 mil thick. So again, we'll just click this point here, drag it across at this point here. And we'll start again over here and just bring it across over here. Hit escape a couple of times. So now we've actually added some nice looking insulation into our drawing. Again, we want to place these details on one of our sheets now. So now we have a nice kind of information call out with our column section detail, with our beams and our showing a bit of insulation. So we can add these then to our sheets. So we're going to go to the first floor plan sheet. So go down to sheet number 3, hopefully is what yours should be. Just double click on this to open it up. So we actually want to add both these callouts onto our sheet. So again, we'll see, we'll have to kind of move things around a little bit, but we'll just drag them on. So we have our column section detail here. So we'll just drag this, and again, like before, just drag and drop, and it should, again, find a nice spot here. Okay, it's a bit small, but we'll work on that in a second. And we get our column plan detail here. Oh yeah, sorry, here it goes. Didn't click down. So let's click there, and you'll see they'll show up here. Now, usually when you put callouts onto a drawing, you actually need to tie it up. Obviously, this is far too small. This is a bit small, and this is taking up a lot of space. So we actually want to, maybe we want to shrink this down to size. So if we click on this view, sorry, we can, like that. My computer is being slightly possessed at the moment. Okay. So again, we want to keep everything in scale, so we'll just change this floor plan. Just give it a click. Okay, here we go. So once you're in the viewport, you'll see there's just a view around the type block gets highlighted. It goes a bit dark. So you'll see here, currently this is set to scale 1:100. We want to make it a bit smaller, so we'll just click on the view scale and we'll pick something a little bit smaller. We'll go with 1:200 for now and just click apply. That should move it down. That should shrink it down to size, so give it a bit more space, so we can put that over here. That's fine. So we'll click on our column section detail. Obviously we need to make this a little bit bigger, so we'll just try it out, try a few different size scales, see what works best. I think we can go a bit bigger than that. So we'll go 1:20. Okay, that's fine. And we'll bring the text up a bit closer to it. And then we'll just select it all and just position everything down the bottom here. And we'll do the same for up here. We'll set this as, again, by default it goes to 1:100, but we'll set this to 1:20 as well. Okay, mine shot up off the screen, so if it goes, disappears, that's where it's gone. So we'll just drag it down here again. We'll have to play around with the positioning of the text. Escape a couple of times, and we'll just click on the text option, just bring it up close so it's nearby. Something like this. So we have this view will show us kind of where the callouts are going to be in this plan. So this corresponds to this one up here, so it might be good practice to bring this one up here so it's alongside it. And you can see this actual title line here. We'll just drag this across just to tidy everything up a little bit, so nothing's going where we shouldn't go. And we also have a column section detail. We want to kind of show the point in the view where this is going to be coming from. So what we can do here is, again, we took this from the south elevation. So if we go through the south elevation, we'll just bring this down here. Again, we might have to resize it. No, it just about fits there, that's okay. And we can see it has a little call out detail there, and that corresponds to this call out detail here. The scale looks fine, it kind of fits there. We can maybe move these two a little bit just to, so we're not too squashed up against the side. So, and again, you'll see each one of these are at different scales, but by default it'll actually have our scale here, which is quite handy. So one is to 100 for this one is to 20, one is to 20, and I have one is to 200 here. Again, it depends on what size your sheet's going to be, but this is a nice little layout. It means we have our section through here. Actually, what we might do again, just to kind of balance these, I'll just click into this, and we'll just turn off that wall view. Sorry, we'll remove the wall so we can actually match the details in the column, or sorry, in the callout. So we'll just bring up the architectural, just make sure we have everything, and just actually it's within the structural, so we didn't need to do that, but we'll untick walls, click apply, click OK, and you see now the wall is gone. So now we'll just see kind of this view here matches what the view here is going to be, so this makes things a little bit clearer. Again, we haven't turned it off in the other views, it should still all be there, because we do visibility graphics, it's it's specific to whatever sheet or view you're working on. So then we'll just click out of this, and here we have a nice detailed drawing now. So we've got our section showing where our callout is going to be, and then the callout section here, callout detail here. We have our floor plan with a section marker, with a callout marker, and then the callout right beside it. So this is kind of a nice layout. You have the bigger picture where you have the callout detail position, and then the actual enlarged position beside it, and the same here. So hopefully yours looks something along these lines. And let's make sure everything we've done here. So that's it again. Again, we didn't touch anything on the other floors yet. For other assignments, you'll kind of put in different callout details if you need to. But for this moment, this is everything we need to do. So this is the end of tutorial 3. So we've done quite a lot here. We've gone from basically, we've created the grid lines, and we created an entire build, modeled the whole building. We changed the materials from, it was originally all steel, that we changed all to concrete. We put in stairs, we put in shaft, put in topography, and then we've done some call-out details. We've edited the schedules, we've edited the title block. So now there's a lot of information we've done with this. So it's a big old project, so it's just actually a good example of what you can do in Revit in a relatively short time. So future assignments will be basing themselves off this. So make sure you know these videos and these tutorials very well, and you shouldn't have any problems with the future assignments. Okay, thank you.